You know what's funny? It's not the way they treated you. No, that's predictable. That's human nature at its finest. Disrespect, betrayal, thinking they can walk all over you because they don't see the fire rising beneath the surface. That's not the joke. The real punchline is your reaction. Yeah, your desperate, loud, emotional response. My friend, they thrive on that, don't they? No, they want you to scream, to fight, to throw a tantrum like a child, because that proves they have power over you. See, reacting is a cage, a self-imposed prison, and the worst part is, it keeps you trapped in their game. When you lash out, when you defend yourself, you're admitting that their opinion matters, that they've managed to get under your skin, and that, my friend, is exactly what they want. They disrespected you, we both know it. They laughed in your face, and you played right into their hands by losing your cool. But what you need to understand is that their disrespect is just a distraction. Round one is over, baby. The real fight starts now, and you lose the moment you give them a reaction. You've lost by playing their game, by letting them drag you into the mud, by letting them decide your emotional state. It's in those heated moments, when you're exploding with anger, that they feel in control. That's when your tantrum feeds their ego, when the weight of your response confirms that they are the ones holding the strings. Little by little, they're watching you crack, watching you unravel, and all they're feeling is satisfaction, because they got exactly what they came for. And the more time passes, the more they'll realize they can push you, they can provoke you, and you will always give them the performance they're looking for. You don't have to lift a finger, you just have to stop letting them trigger you. Let them stew in their own boredom, let them burn in the mess they made, but don't give them the validation of a single word, a single look, or a single moment of your energy. Because that's what they want. They want a response. But you're too smart to stay trapped in their cycle. You know how the game works, and you're still playing by their rules. They think they're clever. They think they can disrespect you, and you'll always bark back. But the deadliest move is to refuse to engage, and you're failing to deliver it like a pro. Don't even bother with the anger, the shouting, the "how could you do this to me" nonsense. That's for the weak. The real strength, the real power, comes from your ability to stay detached, to let them scream into the void while you remain untouched. They'll destroy themselves if you stop feeding their drama. See, people expect noise. They expect a reaction. They feed off your chaos like it's oxygen. When you react, you hand them the leash. You let them lead you into the dark, guessing, wondering. You let your own mind become the victim of their games. Every time you lose your temper over their disrespect, you feel smaller, weaker, more pathetic. And they know exactly how to push your buttons next time because you've already showed them your weaknesses. That reactivity of yours, that's their weapon, my friend. You've made yourself the thing they manipulate most. Here's the truth. They didn't respect you. They thought they could get away with it, and your reactions prove them right every single time. But the thing about control, it's claimed by indifference, not by drama. Let them laugh now, let them celebrate their little victories, but in time, that validation will turn to nothing because you've stopped playing. They'll start to notice that something's changed, that you've become unreadable, and by the time they realize you've pulled the rug out from under them, it'll be too late, because your lack of reaction isn't just shutting them out, it's starving them of the relevance they crave. Look, I get it. It hurts being disrespected by people you thought had your back. That stings like nothing else but pain. But pain is a tool.
You take that hurt, you take that disrespect, and you turn it into a wall, not a weapon you point at yourself. Let it harden you. Let it make you smarter, but don't let it make you predictable. Don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you break. The minute you react, they've already won. And we're not about giving out victories for free, are we? No, we're not. You're better than that. You're smarter than that. You're the one who needs to be in control, not them. So stop giving them what they want. Stop giving them your time, your rage, your attention, because when it's all said and done, they'll be the ones who are confused, haunted by the memory of a person who refused to dance for them. And when they come poking and prodding, desperate for a reaction, for a fight, for your acknowledgement, you'll know you've finally won. You win the moment you decide your peace is more valuable than their provocation. And when that day comes, when they realize how irrelevant they've become, don't even say a word. Just smile, a cold, genuine smile, and walk away, because your indifference is the loudest thing they'll ever hear. You see, kid, the world has this twisted idea of what power is. They think it's about who can shout the loudest, who can retaliate the hardest, who can make the biggest scene. But that's not power. That's desperation. Real power is silent. It's unbothered. It doesn't need to react to be felt. It's like a wall that nobody can scale, nobody can break, until they realize they're fighting against nothing. And right now, you're falling for the bait. You're sitting there letting them believe they're in control, but you know better, don't you? You're not broken. You're not defeated, but you are wasting your potential by staying stuck in the mud. Every second you spend reacting is a second you're giving them the power to shape your reality. They think they know you. They think they've figured out how to make you tick. But people like them, they're simple. They only see the surface. They don't understand that you can change the rules. You aren't playing their game anymore. You're playing your own. And in your game, silence is the only weapon that works. You've got to understand this. Your reaction is your weakness. It's the only thing they've got against you. When they disrespected you, they were looking for a reaction. They were expecting you to get mad, to lash out, to give them a reason to justify their hate. But you gave them everything they wanted. Now you need to starve them. Stop, breathe, and let the other shoe drop. Only it won't drop, because you won't be there to catch it. They'll be left wondering what's wrong, why you've stopped caring. And trust me, that insecurity is going to eat them alive. Ever notice how people hate being ignored, how it makes them uncomfortable, anxious? That's because ignoring them forces them to face their own insignificance. When you stop reacting, it's like taking away their audience. You're forcing them to realize their performance is worthless. And believe me, people hate realizing they're starring in a play nobody is watching. They'll try to fill that void with more insults, more drama, more lies, but you don't owe them a single thought. You let them scream into that void, let them squirm, let them feel every second of their own irrelevance. And here's the kicker. They're killing themselves trying to get a rise out of you. They're replaying every interaction, trying to figure out why you've gone cold, and they don't even realize that you've already moved past them. You're not wasting your energy on them anymore. They're not worth it. You're focused on you, on what comes next, and that silence, that focus, that's what's driving them insane. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, right? But the best revenge is realizing that they aren't even significant enough to warrant your revenge. Sometimes the best thing you can do is simply stop caring, stop looking, stop feeling, and let them fade into the background. They'll destroy themselves, people like that. They're always their own worst enemy. All you have to do is step back and let them collapse under the weight of their own arrogance. While they're falling apart, you're rising. You're turning their disrespect into the fuel you need to ignore them completely. Every insult, every slight, every time they thought they were better than you.
That's just more evidence that they're beneath you. But don't waste it on them. Use it for your own growth. Build something bigger, something better. Make them regret ever crossing you by becoming so successful they're no longer even on your radar. I'm telling you to put them on the hook, not by fighting, but by making yourself untouchable. They've already lost the moment they tried to disrespect you. They just haven't realized it yet because you keep giving them the power to think they're still winning. Your silence is their punishment. Every time they see you thriving, living your life without a single care about them, that's going to hurt more than anything you could have said or done. In the heat of the moment, think about it. They disrespected you, expecting you to crawl, to beg, to fight. But what they aren't ready for is the reality that you don't need them at all. That's what breaks them. That's what crushes their ego into the dirt, because in their twisted little minds, they think they matter. But the truth is they're nothing. They're irrelevant, and that's what kills them. It's a funny thing, really. You don't have to do anything. Just let them exist in the silence of your absence. They'll try to forget, try to move on, but every time they think they've escaped, it'll come back like a ghost that never stops whispering that they were never good enough to get to you. And here's the best part. You're not even thinking about them anymore. You've moved on. You're out there living your life, chasing your goals, making moves. But them, they're stuck, trapped in their own guilt, their own shame, their own obsession with you. That's the real beauty of it. You don't have to do a thing, just exist. Because the truth is, they need your validation. They need to know they left a mark, but you don't need anything from them. And that makes you dangerous. That makes you untouchable. See, kid, life is full of people who will try to tear you down, who will try to make you react, who will try to make you feel like you're nothing. But here's the secret. They're projecting their own insecurities, their own weaknesses onto you. They're scared that you'll see right through them, scared that you'll realize they're empty, and that's why they need you to react, to prove that you're just as messed up as they are. But you're not playing that game anymore. You're on a whole different level. You've got something they'll never have: complete control over your emotions, your mind, your life. That terrifies them. Let them live in fear. Let them drown in their own self-doubt. You're above it all. And every time they see you, every time they think about you, they'll be reminded of one simple truth. They never had any power over you. Not then, not now, not ever. Your silence, your indifference, that's the final nail in the coffin, a reminder that you are stronger than they'll ever be.